Hey everyone, that's Primal here, and I am here to give you my initial impressions of patch 10.11. So, Riot Mort just did a stream where he gave everyone a preview of what's to expect in the upcoming patch. So, I wanted to give you my impressions of the patch notes. I've not read the patch notes myself, so this is going to be pretty much my first interaction with this and first reaction to all of it. And it should be noted that all these patch notes are subject to change up until the point that they're released. And I think Mort also mentioned that there's one pretty significant change to Kha'Zix. Maybe he's going to be getting a nerf, which is probably well deserved. That is not included in these patch notes. So without further ado, let's check out the notes themselves. Okay, and it should first I want to shout out metacomps.com. I don't work with them or promote them or anything, but they are the ones who went through the effort of transcribing all these notes. So thank you, metacomps.com, because you're making my job way easier. All right, so first note, new galaxy, little legends. Little legends are smaller and faster. Don't think that makes any difference. And start with 85 health. Okay, that does make a big difference. Okay, so when I see that everyone has 15% less health, my initial impression is that more aggressive builds that spike earlier are going to be much stronger in this galaxy than they would be in others, relatively speaking. And comps that rely on getting a lot of money and econing up and then rolling down to get like a 2-star 5 cost or even a 2-star 4 cost are going to be much less viable because everyone's going to be playing aggressively and you might not have enough health to get those comps online. So that's my impression of that one. Probably hyper roll comps are going to be really good in this unit, in this galaxy. And that's assuming that hyper roll comps don't get nerfed. I assume they get nerfed, but even so, just any comp that spikes earlier is going to be good. I'm actually interested to see whether comps that are oriented around like a 3 cost or 2 cost, maybe even like Space Jam, could be relevant here. Because comps like Space Jam tend to fall off late game, but if there's less of a late game, maybe they're good. So yeah, watch out for Space Jam. Watch out for Hyper Roll Void because that relies on Kha'Zix. Watch out for Shredder, although everyone's been watching out for Shredder for like 3 weeks now. And I imagine that's what's going to be good in that galaxy. All right, cool. Let's look at some of the trait changes. Chrono goes from 8.42 to 8, 3.5, 1.5 per attack speed burst. Okay, so this is obviously a buff. You don't need me to tell you that. The thing with Chrono, though, is I don't know if this is enough to make anything above 2 Chrono, so the 8-second variation of Chrono, worth it. Because the issue is that the unit quality in Chrono is not awesome, right? Like, I get Thresh and Wukong are fantastic units, but late game, Kaitlyn, not super great. Ezreal, not really great. Blitzcrank is pretty good, but he does kind of fall off once people are positioning and they have Quicksilver Sash and stuff. And the fights don't last that long, right? They don't last that long. And what ends up happening usually at the end of the game is, you have a fight that ends in, somewhere between 4 and 8 seconds, or maybe even between 3.5 and 8 seconds, and you don't really get that stacking attack speed buff. So we'll see. I mean, it could be that this is a fringe change that makes some builds more viable, but I expect it won't make a huge difference, and most comps that incorporate Chrono currently will continue to incorporate 2 Chrono. But that's just in a vacuum. Let's see the rest of the changes, because maybe there's something else in here that in combination of Chrono makes Chrono focused builds more powerful. Infiltrators now jump immediately at the start of combat instead of with a small delay. Units can now target infiltrators after they jump. That sounds like a nerf to infiltrators because the advantage of infiltrators of having that small delay when they jump is it creates time for the units in the corner that they're trying to attack to move out of the corner, and then the infiltrators can jump behind them, which is called decornering those units. If you have this small delay, what'll happen is infiltrators, won't be able to jump straight to the back. They'll have to just jump into the soonest available spot, depending on how much of a delay there still is. Actually, no, it says immediately, so there's no delay. And it says units can now target infiltrators after they jump, which sounds like units acquire infiltrators as a target more quickly, meaning infiltrators are going to get focused more quickly, which I think is a pretty huge nerf, actually. I personally fucking hate playing versus infiltrators, so I'm not mad about it. But I do think this looks like an across the board nerf for infiltrators. So Hyper Void probably not going to be as good. Mech, that's another hit to Mech, which has gotten beaten up for several patches in a row now. Well deserved, in my opinion. So I expect infiltrator comps to become less powerful, which I think the commensurate increase in power should go to range carry comps, right? That have like a squishy backline carry, which is, I guess, most non-mech, non-void comps. All right, let's see. Kaitlyn, 750, 1500. Oh, 3-star Kaitlyn got nerfed. Okay, so this is a nerf to Shredder, just straight up. Because in Shredder, you would try to 3-star Kaitlyn. So this is actually a pretty significant nerf. At 3k damage, she pretty much guaranteed kills anything, unless it has like a Dragon's Claw or running 4 Mystic, which no one ever does. 2250, I suspect there'll be some people that Kaitlyn can't automatically kill. So that's a big nerf to that comp. Graves, 345, 235. Hallelujah. Oh my god. Graves has been so OP for so long, dude. He's so OP. I'm so glad that he's getting nerfed. This is well deserved, and obviously it makes him weaker. I think it's actually a pretty significant nerf to his power overall. Because that's a 33% decrease, right? At level 1. And then a 25% decrease at level 2. So I think that's a pretty big change. I think you'll still see Graves get played, but he won't be like the auto buy every single time that he currently is right now. All right, Jarvan. Oh, interesting. So they buffed level 1 Jarvan and they nerfed level 3 Jarvan. Again, that's a hit to Shredder. So that's good. I mean, I think Shredder needs nerfs in general. And I think Jarvan 1 was really weak. It's hard to say, we're looking at this right now, whether you still want to run Jarvan, because I think even at 2, Jarvan is still kind of mediocre. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say. I probably am not going to be running Jarvan because of this change. I already wasn't running him unless it's Shredder or I don't have any other choice. And in Shredder, now he's worse. And this actually, I don't know, this might kill the comp. This is like 1, 2, 3 nerfs. Xayah change, it costs her now more mana, 20 more mana to get her ult going, which means it takes her 20 more mana to get her attack speed buff. That's a pretty big nerf across the board. So I think this will definitely put Shredder into non-forceable territory. Like, I don't think people will be hard forcing Shredder like they are right now off of a single glove and like 1 Xayah. Thank the Lord. It'll probably still be viable, but you kind of need to high roll a little bit. Like, you need to have a lot of Xayahs early to justify it, and then you just try to snowball. Because these are pretty big changes across the board. Okay, good, but I think they're good changes. I think Shredder has been a little bit too dominant for a little bit too long. All right. What's our dog doing? Okay, I think he's not doing anything he's not supposed to. All right, next change, Blitzcrank. 250, 400. Okay, so they just nerfed his spell damage. Okay. I don't really think he needed a nerf, but I guess if he pulled a 1 cost, he would almost kill them by himself. So a 1 star rather. So okay, sure, whatever. I think people are still gonna run Blitzcrank a lot. I think just as much as they used to. The real power of Blitzcrank comes in his utility. So I'm assuming what Riot is trying to do here is let Blitzcrank be used for his utility, but not have it be the case that if anyone he pulls is immediately chunked and then instantly killed, which is kind of the case right now. So that's good. Lucien. All right, buffed at 3 stars. I don't think that's very significant. Generally, the way you play Lucien is you stack him with on-hit items like Red Buff, Giant Slayer, etc. And then he carries by spreading those abilities super safely and reliably. Because of the way his ult works, it means he's always like dodging, and he usually is getting away from like enemy infiltrators, or he might even dodge a skill shot out of pure luck. I don't think, I mean, at least in isolation, I don't think this is a change that would make me ever want a 3-star Lucien. But it's nice. I mean, it's nice to feel like you get something for 3-starring the unit if you get shoved a bunch of Luciens. But I don't really think this will lead to people making Lucien 3-star oriented builds. But IDK though. Yi, 0.85 attack speed up from 0.8. That's good. Yi sucks right now. So I'm glad he's getting a buff so that he's actually a unit you want to play late game. And actually, it used to feel like you want to play Yasuo over Yi. Now, I don't think as of the last patch, but it used to be the case that you would almost want to play Yasuo over Yi because Yasuo provides CC. And Yi, he kind of had a lot of issues just running around and trying to acquire a target, and you can't get into range of a target because he's melee, and it's just super sad, man. It's just really fucking sad. So I'm glad he's getting an attack speed buff. It's hard to know looking at this. I mean, this is less than 10% increase in attack speed. So I don't really think it'll make him a big carry, but it will make him a unit that late game you care about picking up and positioning correctly when you're running rebels. So that's good. Overall, so far, this just looks like just like a little bit of fine tuning around the edges, except for Shredder, which I think kind of got hit hard. So I like these changes overall. Cho'Gath, 50 out of 150 to 75 out of 150. Good. Dude, Cho'Gath 1 was so unreliable. Like, even with Brawler level 1 buff, this champ would just die before he gets his ult off, and he feels a lot weaker than, say, Wukong. So I like this buff a lot. And I think it'll make 2-star Cho'Gath one of the best units in the game, which makes sense considering he's a 4 cost. So I'm really happy about this. And I guess this is a buff to Brawlers. So I think Brawler Blaster got a little bit better because of this change. Even though Blitzcrank got nerfed, again, I don't think the real utility of Blitzcrank comes from his ability to deal damage. It's more from his ability to hook. So I like this. I like this overall. And I think people will just be splashing Cho'Gath. Like, my read on this is that you should just pick up Cho'Gath, even if you don't plan on running him in your end game comp, just because he's a good individual unit to throw into any comp. So that's really good. Kayle. All right, so Kayle got hit with about a 20 or 18% mana increase to ult. That's good because Kayle was a little OP. She's arguably the hardest carry in the game right now. Like, she carries harder than maybe any other champion outside of like a fully upgraded MF or fully upgraded GP when she has the right items. So I think she needed the nerf. This definitely won't make her weak. So I think Kayle comps will still be very, very good. So yeah, I think this is good. And it also means that if you do manage to kill off, like, target Kayle with like an infiltrator or something, she won't just like kill off whoever is attacking her, which is what kind of felt like was the case a lot of time if she had the right items on her. So I think this is a good change overall. All right, Last Whisper, 90% to 75% armor reduction. Why though? Damn, this feels like another sneaky buff to Vanguards, which I already feel like really oppressive early in mid game. Okay, I mean, I guess this fits with Riot's balancing philosophy of, hey, what we don't want to do is have hard counters. We want to have like soft counters. So I think that makes sense. I think my reservation is I still think 2 Vanguard is a little too strong. So it feels bad that the primary counter to it for physical damage dealers got nerfed. But when I think about it, I mean, Vanguards kind of fell off late game because as soon as you have a Last Whisper, their armor basically didn't matter. So, I actually like this. I like this because it'll mean that if, for example, you go 4 Vanguard late game, like let's say you want to tech in 4 Vanguard because you see someone's running like a heavy physical damage comp, like, I don't know, a Jhin comp, or to a lesser extent, a Jinx comp. You're not screwed just because they have a Last Whisper. So I like that. I think this will provide some balance, and it'll make the trade-off between 2 and 4 Vanguard more interesting. And I think you'll see people more on 4 Vanguard a little bit more often because it doesn't get countered so hard. Because yeah. Okay, cool. Bug fixes. Don't really have any opinions on that. Patch 10.11 rundown. You should go check that out yourself. I like this anime version of Mort. It looks dope. I want an anime version of me. I guess I kind of have one, but anyway. So cool. Overall, I think it's a solid looking patch. At first, when I read this, I'm like, where are the Kha'Zix nerfs? But the combination of the infiltrator nerf plus a potential direct nerf to Kha'Zix would put Hyper Void in line, because if they don't nerf Hyper Void, I do think it's going to be the strongest comp. But overall, this is good. I like that they're nerfing hyper roll because, in my opinion, hyper roll is a pretty uninteresting way to play the game when it's the dominant strategy. I think it's good as a niche strategy, but right now people are just forcing it. So I think this makes that a lot less appealing. And overall, yeah, I like it. Big fan. All right, guys. So that's it for the 10.11 patch rundown. I'm also going to be releasing a reaction to the mid-set update. Super excited to have some new champions introduced into the mix. Super excited to see what they are. I haven't really looked at them. I've heard some rumors about what they are based on people's discussion, or not even rumors, but like, you know, when you don't want spoilers, but you're getting fucking spoilers anyway because you're in a group chat or whatever. That's what's been happening to me, but I have not taken a focused look at them. So I'm going to take a look at those on stream tonight, or I guess by the time this is recorded, sometime in the past, but it'll be uploaded to the YouTube there so you can see my reaction to that. In the meantime, have an awesome time and keep climbing. Bye. Hey guys, I hope you liked the video. My name is thatsPRIMAL and this is Uzi, and we are on a journey to become a professional gamer. Yes, both of us. And that means a combination of making content, streaming, and competing in tournaments. So if you like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really, really does help us on our journey to make this stream a reality. And we're going to be putting out content on a regular basis that's designed to help you get better at Teamfight Tactics. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time.